Yeah. Hey. Shipped from the shores of Cape Coast, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Senegal, black gold they were hauling. 400 years it was hard then. Kept striving to be free from Marcus the Bois. Can't forget Kwame. For reparations they did pray. To unite in their honor we do say, Yenko, Yenko, Africa. Yenko, Yenko, Africa. Yenko, Yenko, Africa. Yenko, Yenko, Africa.
All right, welcome to Yenko Africa YouTube channel. My name is Ama and you're all welcome. If you're coming over from any other venue, I appreciate you coming over and you're welcome. And if you're just coming across this video, you're also welcome. All right, so today, as you see in the title, the purpose of this year is to help those of you who have an interest of getting to the continent before the end of 2019, but you're concerned about the price of tickets, what's the best time to go. In this year, I'm going to try to give as much information as possible, but of course I want to keep it as short as possible as well. Okay, so hopefully these tips will help you in your search, and I am sincerely praying for those of you who genuinely want to go, because I know a lot of you want to go over to the continent, and say if you don't make it this 2019, God willing, you'll make it next year. Okay, so the first step is to plan, to prepare, to do your research, to find out what your budget is, and try to locate tickets within that budget. By all means, don't strain yourself. Push, all right, but don't strain. Okay, so today I want to show you some of my sites that I use, some of the the favorite sites that I use, including our site, which you can find by going to yenko.africa or going to www.yenkoafrica.com. Okay, all right, so I want to start with my a site that's not ours, but it is a great site, which is called Skyscanner. Okay, and you can see that right here. All right, and so Skyscanner is one of the best places to go and look for rates. I love it because it allows you to also search for the whole month, and so using this you can actually find dates that are less expensive than what, say, your original date was, if it's available. So say you chose the 25th. Okay, in this example I chose the 24th because I pre-searched and found that the 24th was the least expensive day. That will give you a couple of days to prepare for this trip. Okay, but so if you use the whole month search, you're able to search the departure date for the best rates, and you're also able to search the return dates for the best rates. Okay, and the same with one-way. If you want to search just for one-way tickets, you can search the best rates for a one-way ticket as well. All right, but what I want to show you here too is that they have a great rate on this. This is also using Ethiopian Airlines, and it's leaving out of New Jersey. You may say you're not from New Jersey, but here's what you can do. You can always get a one-way ticket or a round-trip ticket from wherever you are to any of the major hubs that offer great rates. And I do emphasize great rates because Atlanta is a major hub, but surprisingly, in my experience, Atlanta does not have the best rates. Okay, and I have my theories on why. All right, but Atlanta does not have the best rates. So if at all possible, if you can connect to a city with great rates, such as anything in New York, like I put in here New York any, and it shows out of JFK, LaGuardia, out of I think it's SFW, just different airports in that area. It chose EWR, which is the New Jersey location, okay, Newark location, and they came up with $691. So if you left on September 24th and returned on October 6th, that gives you a good bit of time there to at least spend some time. For those of you who are interested in inquiring about the free land opportunities that some people have been advertising, I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to give you my opinion. I've spoken on it a couple of years ago on other locations about my opinion about free land. But usually I'll just say this, usually I avoid that whole free land thing, but I think now some of the opportunities that are coming over open are different, but I will still give you some things to look out for and things to look into. Okay, I think it's wonderful that they're reaching out to us, but I'll go into that on another share. All right, so on this example, we see that Skyscanner has a great rate, round trip, $691. Super. You may say that's a lot of money. Believe you me, that's a great rate. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is you can check for the best flight, which is pretty short, and on this one, the best is also the cheapest and the fastest. Okay, so this is a wonderful example. It's using Ethiopian airline. You're pretty much, it's a direct flight from New York, basically. Okay, now you do stop off in not a direct. It's you do have one stop off in Lome, okay, which is in Togo, but other than that, unless you know your flight is delayed out of Lome, which can happen, those are things you need to look for. And I'm going to do a share on what, in my experience, what I think is the best airline in West Africa that I've flown so far, and also the best airports. That's the main thing I want to talk about. Okay, all right. So $691 is great. Now, if you go to our site, you'll see that our price is slightly higher, which this is new because usually, in all honesty, I'm not lying. We are a curator. That means we work with a company who pulls rates from everywhere. Okay, and usually our rates are lower, but we have recently, by choice, the company has decided to not work with two particular carriers, and the reason being is because there have been problems with those carriers as far as people booking the flights, paying for them, and then getting a call back later on saying that, you know, the flights are not available, and then, you know, of course they will refund you, but sometimes that causes you to miss something else that may not be available by the time you get your refund, because that can take a couple of days, you know, if it goes smoothly. And so we definitely want to make sure that the customer is having the best experience. Okay, and so you'll see here by clicking here, you're going to pull up various sites and the rates that they're offering. So ours is the second best, though. It's $739. Now, if you go to FareBoom, which I have recommended several times over the past years, on another location, another channel, which wasn't really about this particular topic, wasn't about Africa and so on, but I would feature some things on there. I've used this company in the past. I said before on my last share that I did on them about a year ago that I had not. I didn't think that I did, but I knew that family members did. But when I went through my receipts and stuff, I found that, hey, yeah, I've used them before. They also had another company, which is their parent company, BT Store, and I've definitely had experience with them, and it's always been a great experience. What you'll find here with FareBoom is that they give you something that the other sites don't give you, and let me tell you what that is. They give you the opportunity, well, the other sites allow you to do it, but it's usually in the purchasing process, and they allow you to do what I'm going to show you prior to purchasing, and that is you can see what seats are available prior to purchasing with FareBoom, and you can select your seat, right? So here are the details of the flight, okay? And if you wanted to find out which seats were available, and you know, if it's something that you're interested in, they also tell you the suggested time when they think you should buy, but that changes. You just, you know, kind of feel it out yourself. But click here, view seats, and this is going to pull up the available seats. So if you're like me, I want to know what seats are available before I buy a ticket, okay? And so the benefit of FareBoom is that they allow you to see this prior to purchasing. Now, once any other company, during the purchasing process, during the steps, meaning after you put in your information and more details, sometimes you're able to do it before you click sale, but a lot of times you're not able to choose those seats until after you've already purchased those tickets. But here on FareBoom, they allow you to see what seats are available. So if you come here and you see seats that, you know, see the seating and you say, nah, I don't want this, or you may see that this is a 3x3x3 and you prefer a 4x, you know, 3 or whatever, or you prefer a 2x3x2, you know, because you don't want to be sitting with someone that you don't know, perhaps you're traveling with two people, then that's the benefit of using FareBoom. Now, FareBoom, you're going to find out that they're going to be about $30 or $40 more. That's what I find. typically $30 or $40 more than, I won't say the lowest tickets, but the average ticket. Okay, so that's one of the benefits of using them, is the seating option. You can go ahead and select that in advance, and I think that what they do is they just go ahead and charge you, because you're going to have to pay for specific seatings in most cases with most airlines. That's, you know, everything now they're charging you for. Okay, so that's one of the benefits of using FareBoom. Now Google's IATA, one of the benefits of using them is that although their rates are much higher, so you can see they're $833, which is higher than Skyscanner, higher than our site, and higher than FareBoom. But one of the benefits is searching. Okay, because see, what they have an option where you can search, and when you search, you can search airports within a let's see, what's the region? You come here, and up to 2,000 miles, up to 2,000 miles, up to 2,000 mile radius, you can search every airport. Okay, and so you're gonna, you know, and it's easy. You don't have to know those airport codes. You just come and click, click, click. Make sure you're only clicking those if you're in the U.S. that are in the United States, because it'll give you an error message saying that they don't, you know, offer the rates or combined rates of Canada, say, and with U.S. flights. So the search has to be only for U.S. airports if that's what you're doing at that time, or if you're doing only Canada, it has to be only Canada airports, so on and so forth. They don't mix them. So this is a wonderful tool, because what it does is that it allows you to find out which airport in the country has, you know, the lowest flight that they're advertising. Now their rate is going to be more than, say, Skyscanner or our site. It's going to, more than likely, in my experience, it's always going to be more, and even more than FareBoom. But what it does is it shows you their lowest rate, which is a city that you probably never searched. And then once you find out what their lowest rate is, then you go and you search that city yourself, right? On one of the discount sites like Skyscanner or our site or FareBoom, and then you will get a lower rate from that city. And so here's another trick. Sometimes your city may be more expensive than flying out of a major hub, like I said before. So if you're, say, in, you know, someplace in Mississippi, okay, and you need to get to Accra, Ghana, all right, what I would suggest is finding a cheap flight to New York, or a cheap flight to Washington, or cheap flight to Chicago, sometimes a cheap flight to Miami. They're going to offer the lowest rates for you to fly out of. It's sometimes Houston, sometimes, you know, Seattle. You know, you can get a cheap flight there, and you'll find that flying from those cities is going to be cheaper than flying out of, say, Atlanta. Okay, and so the best thing for you to do is just use all of these different tools and allow them to work for your benefit. Okay, allow them to work for you. Okay, the best thing you can do is just use these tools and allow them to work for your, you know, specific needs, what's going to benefit you. Okay, and so this is just an example. Let me give you some more sites that you can use. This site right here, I tried booking tickets with this site. In fact, I did book tickets with this site twice, and twice after they came back and, well, before the finalization of the fare, they came back and said, oh, the fare is not available, although they were advertising it. Why I'm still putting this in here is because the fare, although they will change it and say that the fare is not available for that price, but you can get it at another price. Once you find out what that fare is, the route is, you can look it up yourself on another site, such as Skyscanner, such as the Yenko Africa or FareBoom, and you can find that same flight for less. Okay, so I did not enjoy the experience of dealing with this company, and you think you found the perfect rate, and, you know, only to find out that they're going to try to charge you more. Okay, another flight that usually advertises lower rates is JustFly.com. Okay, you may want to try them as well and see if it works for you. Okay, so these are just a few example sites that you can use, but remember, you want to use a site such as Skyscanner and such as our site, which is Yenko.Africa. Just click on search flights and it's going to bring you to this page, and try to work with companies that are going to give you the best rates with the less headache, or the least amount of headache, okay, or no headache at all. And the reason why I say this, let me just take my time. I think it's very important. All right, one of the companies, I'll just put that out there, that we no longer work with is Smart Fares and sometimes Viama, is because you can put the information in for those and you'll see it comes up with the cheapest fare, which more than likely this right here is going to be Viama or it's going to be Smart Fares. Let me show you. There it is, Smart Fares. This is going to be the lowest price, but in my experience, it's not the best experience. The same thing with Viama. So the next lowest rate is like $7.43, which is the same thing that ours is showing. It's not showing you here on the screen, but it's the same as the rate that's being advertised on the Yenko site. You see it here, $7.43. It's the same as ours. Actually, now ours is $7.39, so we're actually less. Okay, and let me see who we're getting that through. It's taking me to Just Fly. Okay, so if you book this from our site, it's going to take you to Just Fly. Okay, and so you don't lose anything by going through our site. In fact, you're not going to be booking with us. It's just going to give us very little, let me stress, very little commission for you just finding the rate from through our site. This is more or less for a convenience for those who are members of our site or who just visit the Yenko Africa website. Okay, so we appreciate you using us to search, but believe me, we're not getting rich off of this. Okay, it's mainly a convenience for you. And so I love the fact that Just Fly came out. It's a reliable company, and so hopefully you'll have a good experience with them. This is the company that we've used to book our tickets recently as well. Okay, and perfect experience. We were also able to select our seats, but we paid extra, which most companies charge you to do that. Okay, so I hope this helps. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Just leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned, guys. Go back and watch some of the older videos because you may find that there's some valuable information there, and look forward to some more videos coming soon. All right, shalom and Yah bless.
Yeah, hey. Shipped from the shores of Cape Coast, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Senegal, black gold they were hauling. 400 years it was hard then. Kept striving to be free from Marcus the Bois. Can't forget Kwame. For reparations they did pray. To unite in their honor we do say Yenko, Yenko,